welcome back! We're baking again, and I'm in my pajamas because I'm not leaving the house because I don't have to. So I decided that I really want to have biscuits, and I've had this biscuit recipe that I've been looking at for a while now. And of course I'm not going to do what the biscuit recipe says. So this recipe is, it says author is Lisa Leek, and I copied this a long time ago, so I don't even remember what website I got this from. But this recipe calls for 2 cups of whole wheat flour, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 4 tablespoons of cold butter, and a cup of cold milk. Now, I really like biscuits, and I like for them to be partially healthy, but I have stuff I need to get rid of in my house to make more room. So I have here, instead of 2 cups of whole wheat flour, I have 1 cup of whole wheat flour, half a cup of almond flour, and half a cup of oat flour, basically. So I figured that'll help balance out the protein content, or the percentage, with the oats with the almonds. Plus it decreases the processed sugar content as well. So that we put in, okay? And then we have the 4 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm leaving that. I actually really like baking powder. I don't taste it like I taste baking soda. You know, you can taste that alkaline taste. At least I can. 4 teaspoons is basically a tablespoon and a teaspoon, and I don't want to measure out 4, so we're gonna do 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon. And then it is going to be a 3/4 teaspoon
of salt.
Okay, that's probably about 3/4. Okay, let me mix that a little bit. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay, so that's mixed-ish. So now it calls for, let's see, 4 tablespoons of cold butter and about a cup of cold milk. I'm not using butter because I don't want to use more dairy than I have to, but I still need to be careful of the fat ratio. So I actually put coconut oil in the refrigerator, actually in the freezer, for a little while to cool down so I could put it in pieces and mash it up with my fork. So I'm just gonna break it up with my hands. I've already pretty much put the pieces out so I know what they look like. Okay, so I really like coconut oil as compared to regular butter because of the vitamin E that is in there, which is actually really good for your skin. I mean, in this form, probably not. It'd be better if you just put it right directly on your skin, which I have done. I have put a little tub of coconut oil in the shower for me to be able to just put on my skin whenever I want right after the shower. You know, I just kind of pat myself dry after, and I have gotten compliments on my skin after when I do that. Okay, I think that is all the coconut flour I need to eat. Coconut flour, bleh. All the coconut oil I need to use. Okay, so now let's use the fork and mash it down. Just kind of mix it a little bit, have each piece kind of pebbled in with the flour. Okay, I'm gonna get in there with my hands a little bit just to help that move along. Okay, so we have all of this ready to go. And then the next thing to add was the cup of cold milk. Sour cream, because I have to get rid of it. I'm using the sour cream because we need to get it out of the fridge, and it does have a good fat content, has lower sugar content. And since I don't want more sugar in this unless I have to, I've put it probably about 3/4 cup of sour cream.
2/3.
And with a little bit of water. I really did it because I only had about 2/3 cup of sour cream. And so I'll put it in now. It looks partially nasty, but okay. So I'm gonna mix that together. I don't want to overmix though. And really, since it doesn't have a lot of gluten, you want really just in general protein bonds to help it rise. Okay, that looks mixed, but not too mixed. So now I'm gonna mix it a little bit more with my hands. Actually, I'm gonna put a little bit more flour in there. I guess I'll use the whole wheat flour. I'm gonna probably put about a couple of tablespoons worth because it looks just a tad bit too sticky. So I'll put a tablespoon at a time. Maybe a little less than a tablespoon. Oh yeah, maybe not even a tablespoon, a teaspoon. Okay, that looks much better in terms of mixture. There you go. So, there you go. See, it kind of holds well together even when I jiggle. That shows you the bonds. The fact that they're pulling a little bit, you see them getting a little stringy, that's good. Okay, so we're gonna use a spatula to just kind of clean it off and clean the bowl and put everything together. Okay, let's put this on a wooden cutting board. Okay, perfect. So I already floured it a little bit, so let's just dump this on. Perfect. Oh, a little bit left. So the flouring definitely helps, so I'm just gonna roll this a little bit together. Okay, it did say to knead it 8 to 10 times before I put it on the board. I did not really do that. So let me just do it now because there's probably enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's kind of an extra one. 10. There we go. So let's put a little bit more flour on the surface. So it definitely needs it.
Pun not intended.
Okay, and so now we are going to pat it down with the hands. We want about a, let's say 3/4 inch thickness. I'm really hoping I can eat these biscuits for like breakfast or lunch. So maybe I can make like a chipotle sauce with some avocado and maybe some turkey meat and put it on top of these biscuits, and that would be really good actually. And then for breakfast, just have it maybe with some jam. That's looking flat enough. And so next what we're going to do is we're going to, you can use a cutter. I don't really have one that's circular that won't stick. So I'm gonna actually spray a glass cup, and use that to make biscuits. Okay, here's the cup that I'm going to use. And so let me just start doing now. Okay, here they are, some of them at least, a couple of good morsels they'll make. And so I'm gonna put these in the oven for at 450 for about 10 to 12 minutes. Nom nom noms, nom 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 noms. Okay, and now we wait. Okay, the last batch of these beautiful, lovely looking biscuits. I just made the last 5 since they all didn't fit. I probably should not be doing this with my hand because, you know, they're hot. So I'm gonna bring these over. Here they are, the lovely looking biscuits. Some of them are a little more cooked than others. Okay, here are the biscuits. Yeah, they're definitely, some of them are more well cooked than others. But they actually rose a little bit.
Not as much as I wish they would have risen, but they rose to an extent.
Okay, so I'm gonna open one up, and I guess I'll put a little bit of itty bitty honey on it. So I got a knife and I have a fork. The fork is gonna help fluff it open, and the knife I will actually spear some honey with. I feel like I'm gonna make a mess if I do this. Ooh, let's see. Actually doesn't look too bad at all. Here they are on the inside. They look a little English muffiny, but better, like, I don't know how to explain, like breadish. Okay, so let's spear some honey. Oh no, I got a little bit of bread in there. That's not good because honey's sterile. So when you get bread pieces in there, you have an increased chance of mold. So I'm gonna have to get that out with a spoon of some sort. Okay, let's get that out. Well, that's good because I could use that to get, I guess, put some more honey on the next piece. Okay, so that's that off, and that's the rest of it. Okay, so let's try a piece with barely anything on it so I can actually see if it tastes good. So I took the bottom part. Actually, it tastes really good. That's the bottom part. So it's nice and crispy, which is really good if you want to make a little mini sandwich with them. And we have the top part. And with the honey, it tastes really good. I soaked that up hardcore. That was so good. So these biscuits are a win. Remember that they have about a cup of wheat flour, half a cup of almond flour, half a cup of oat flour, which is just ground up oats, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which was actually a little bit more. And then there was 4 teaspoons of baking powder, then 4 tablespoons of coconut oil, and then it was 2/3 cup of sour cream, which then was filled up to the top with water and mixed together to make that quote unquote, I can't do quotations right now, cold milk. And just mixed together, cut into pieces with a cup, and baked for at 450 for about 10 to 12 minutes. So overall, success! Hope you enjoy these biscuits. Definitely try them out for lunch or breakfast or dinner or brunch. Definitely a great brunch, Agnes. Ooh, with lox and cream cheese, that's probably a good one. And I'll see you next time. Oh, go.